Hello and a happy Monday afternoon to you. This is First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was sunny and it was very warm, especially on our Sunday. In fact, speaking of warm, very warm out there today as well. We're seeing temperatures in the 70s and some 80s across the entire region. If you've been outdoors, you can feel it. We got the sunshine with it, so good news there. We do have a couple changes headed our direction. Nothing necessarily that's too much out of what we've seen recently, but there is some concern for some fire danger out there as we jump into Tuesday and Wednesday. Thus, we have two first alert weather days, and we will get to the next chance of rain and maybe cooler temperatures finally as well. If you're looking forward to a more fall-like feel, it's not too far away now. Let's go ahead and jump into what we've got for you. And as you can see here, we do have first alert weather days for both Tuesday and Wednesday, and it is that fire danger. We're going to have some strong winds in particular on Wednesday. Wednesday more so the entire area. However, portions of the region on Tuesday, which we'll cover in just 1 second here. Again, low humidity potential, strong winds, western areas Tuesday, entire region on Wednesday. Any fires over there may burn out of control. So I'm going to start with our next weather maker, and this is kind of what initiates all this. We have a low pressure well up in Canada moving our direction. Ahead of that, of course, a warm front followed by that cold front. Warm front starts to work its way into the region as we head toward tomorrow afternoon. Notice those green arrows that are moving there, those green bars. That indicates we've got wind gusts up to potentially 30+ miles per hour. Now, notice most of that in the central and western part of the state. However, some of those winds could gust as high as 30+ miles per hour in Devil's Lake Basin in the James River Valley. So that is our area of concern in terms of fire danger for tomorrow. Once we jump into our Wednesday, those winds almost due south, and we're going to see wind gusts potentially 35+ miles per hour. It is going to be dry out there. Humidity values, that really is the key here because the winds are going to be there. It is how humid it is going to be or what our low humidity values are. We start seeing those 30% range, 35% to 40%. It's pretty dry there. We get in those 40s and we're at least a little bit safer, so that's going to be the key to this. Right now, we have a first alert weather day for the entire area on Wednesday due to the fact that we certainly could see those low humidity values coupled with the strong winds out of the south. So take a look at our regions again. This is for Tuesday, fire weather potential. Where you see the red, that is where we have that first alert weather day. So for our Tuesday, most of the region not under the first alert weather day. It's because those winds will not be all that strong. It'll be breezy, but not windy enough to warrant the concern for fire danger. So western portions, Devil's Lake Basin, James River Valley, parts of southeast North Dakota as well, and then that fire danger extends farther to the west. We look at Wednesday, again, we've got it, at least for the time being, for the entire area. So the first alert weather day goes for all locations on Wednesday due to the wind, due to, again, that potential for lower humidity. It's already going to be very warm, of course. That is another factor. And it's also been dry for the last week plus now, again, allowing, especially those warm temperatures, things to dry out pretty quickly. As far as the wind gust goes, we look at Tuesday and notice the area of biggest concern, 30 to 45 mile per winds, is our westernmost areas. And you look at Minot, you look at Bismarck as well. But if you're in Jamestown, you're in Devil's Lake areas west, that is a concern. Now we jump into our Wednesday, and right now weather models are showing the biggest concern is going to be Red River Valley as well as Minnesota there, northwest Minnesota, Lakes Country. So again, we're keeping an eye for the entire region as we jump to our Wednesday. We'll see improved conditions in terms of fire danger by the time we get to Thursday. Now, getting to our lows tomorrow morning, going to be very mild out there, certainly for the last day of September. Low to mid 60s for most of the area, upper 50s for a few. Afternoon high temperatures, don't mean to have that in there. What we're going to see tomorrow, though, is, we'll skip over that. I do want to let you know, highs tomorrow are going to be in the low to mid 80s in many spots. Now take a look at our Fargo planner here, 83. Warm, breezy on our Tuesday. We start warm, 64. Notice our wind gust as we get toward the afternoon, gusting to 22. So we're going to feel it, but again, not meeting that criteria for a first alert weather day within Fargo or within the Red River Valley. Now, want to jump into our next weather maker. This is from Friday through next Monday. We're going to see a better opportunity for rain, and temperature is going to cool off, especially as we get toward next Sunday and Monday. So low pressure will move through later Friday afternoon and evening. That's going to bring a pretty good chance of rain, especially our northern locations Friday night, early Saturday. Also Red River Valley and Lakes Country overnight. Jumping to Saturday afternoon, I think a break from the showers. In fact, other than a few isolated showers, I think Saturday's going to be a pretty nice day out there. Then we look at Saturday night and Sunday. Things get ramped up again. Another area of low pressure bringing pretty good coverage of rain both Saturday night and Sunday across the region. So at this point, we're looking, and we actually do need some of that rain. So again, we've got a couple opportunities Friday night, early Saturday, and then again Saturday night into the better part of Sunday. On Sunday, more so if you divide the region in half, the northern westernmost areas, much lower chance of rain, whereas you get down toward Grand Forks, especially Fargo, Moorhead, Jamestown, up through about Baudette, areas south and east, better chance of getting rain on Sunday. Finally, we're going to take a look here. Monday, we start to clear out our next rain chances. Again, it looks like Saturday night, Sunday bring the best chance of getting that rain right now. And again, Friday night, Saturday, we'll get a shot of showers as well. Here we go, temperature trends. Look at this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 84, 86, 82. On Saturday, Sunday, we finally start to cool things down for the weekend. 75, I think a good looking day on Saturday. Again, I think that's that one period of the weekend where it's going to be relatively dry in most areas. On Sunday, better chance of rain. It will come with a cooler high around 70. And looking ahead into next week, it actually looks like we're going to settle into the mid-60s for much of the region Monday right through the second half of next week. Could see a little bit either side. Some areas could reach the low 70s. Some can only make it to the low 60s. But what we're not going to see, any more mid-80s, low 80s next week. Will feel much cooler. It'll actually feel much more like the norm for this time of year. Still slightly above average, but much more fall-like, and I think a lot of folks out there are ready for more of a fall feel. That's exactly what we're going to have. Hope you have a wonderful evening.